Look closely. This may be the most successful lie ever told. Every year, millions of people walk into a store and spend a fortune on a tiny piece of carbon. And they call it love. A diamond. The size of your devotion, measured in months of your salary. 2 months, they say, that's the rule. It feels ancient, sacred, inevitable. It is none of those things. The tradition is younger than your grandmother. The rule was written by an ad agency. And the stone in that ring is not rare at all. Almost everything you believe about diamonds was invented, deliberately, by a single company, to sell you something you never needed. This is the story of how they did it. And how, right now, it's finally falling apart. Start with the stone itself. Strip away the ring, the lighting, the music in the jewelry store. What is a diamond, really? It's carbon, the same element as the graphite in a pencil. Squeezed by the earth, nothing more. And here is the secret the whole industry is built on. Diamonds are not rare. There are enough sitting in vaults right now to put several on every finger on earth. They sat on mountains of them. 100 years ago, a diamond ring was barely a thing at all. So how does a common rock become the most valuable thing you'll ever buy? You need one man, one hole in the ground, and one idea ruthless enough to fool the world. South Africa, the 1870s. On a dusty farm near Kimberley, someone finds a diamond in the dirt. Then another, then thousands. 50,000 men tear a hill apart with their bare hands. Until nothing is left but a wound in the earth almost a kilometer deep. The largest hole ever dug by hand. And out of the chaos steps a man who sees what no one else does. His name is Cecil Rhodes. He realizes all these diggers, flooding the market, are making each other poor. So he starts buying the mines, one by one, claim by claim, until he builds an empire on scarcity itself. By 1888, his company controls 90% of the diamonds on Earth. But owning the diamonds was the easy part. The real genius, and the real crime, came next. Ernest Oppenheimer takes control and perfects the machine. Every diamond, from every mine, is funneled into a single room in London. One room. A few times a year, hand-picked buyers are handed a sealed box. You don't negotiate, you take what you're given. And when too many diamonds threaten the price, they lock them in the dark, releasing them a trickle at a time. The scarcity you feel in that store is not real, it is manufactured. But in the 1930s, the whole scheme nearly collapses. The Great Depression hits. And suddenly a diamond looks like exactly what it is, a luxury nobody needs. So in 1938, De Beers makes a phone call. Not to a miner, to an advertising agency. And the goal they write down is breathtaking in its honesty. To make the diamond a psychological necessity. Not a product, a need, planted in your mind. Then, late one night in 1947, a tired copywriter named Frances Geraghty scribbles 4 words she almost throws away. A diamond is forever. If a diamond is forever, you can never resell it. If a diamond is forever, it must mean love that lasts. In 1940, just 10% of American brides had a diamond ring. They put diamonds in the movies. They told men exactly how much to spend. They saturated every magazine and every screen. They even told you how to look while you did it. Then they exported the whole idea to countries that never had it. In Japan, in one generation, it went from almost zero to the overwhelming majority. Frances Geraghty, the woman who wrote Forever, never married. They didn't uncover a tradition, they wrote one. But a story this powerful has victims. In the 1990s, in Sierra Leone, Angola, the Congo. The stones that meant love in one place paid for war in another. Rebels seized the mines and traded rough diamonds for guns. The world gave them a name. Blood diamonds. Whole regions, torn apart. In 2003, the industry promised a fix, a certificate. On paper. In practice, the system still leaks. And then there's the quieter betrayal, the one that touches everyone. The moment you leave the store, your diamond loses most of its value. Diamonds are intrinsically worthless, except for the need they satisfy. It was never an investment. You didn't buy a diamond, you bought an ad. And now, after almost a century, the lie is breaking. Because science caught up. In a lab, with a seed of carbon and intense heat. In a few weeks, we can grow a diamond. Not a fake, chemically, atomically identical. Even an expert needs a machine to tell them apart. And it costs up to 80% less. Nearly half of US engagement rings are now grown in a lab. Natural diamond prices have crashed to their lowest in over a decade. The industry's own newsreels tell the story. De Beers' parent has written it down by billions, 3 years running. They launched their own lab-grown brand, then quietly killed it. And the empire that invented forever is now for sale. The most successful lie ever told is dying, in real time. Which brings us back to your hand. To that ring, and what it really means. Here's the strange part, it can still mean something. Not because a company told you it should. But because you, and someone you love, decided it does. That's real, that's yours. But now you can see the machine behind the magic. It was never rare, it was never ancient. The Forever was written by a copywriter who wanted to go to bed. It was the most successful lie ever told. And for almost 100 years, you believed it too. So here's the only question that matters now. If they could do all of this with a shiny rock, what else have you been sold?